Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another Pokemon Let's Go kind of talking video. Let's talk about Let's Go is probably what I've called this with some kind of snappy title beginning bit. That is probably how I've called this. Today I just want to kind of talk to you about a couple of things that are on Cerebi, a couple of ideas that I have that might filter into the games, and I just want to kind of give a general chat to you guys, and I think you'll enjoy it. This is kind of some predictions that I'm making. There's also got some more information that I didn't cover in the original video that was from the interview that Cerebi has covered. Obviously, I'm on Cerebi right now. I do recommend you check it out because Cerebi is good. They cover only official news, and if it is a rumor, they do definitely state that it's a rumor, but I believe Let's Go, the titles, were the only time that they have ever covered a news that wasn't official. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I was considering reading through this, but I'm not really too fussed about this, except for you do have the link to Pokemon Go, and they do come through to the Go Park. So, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. That might be happening quite frequently for this video. So obviously you've got the link to Pokemon Go, and my thought is, how are they synchronizing Pokemon Go to Pokemon Switch, specifically through levels and CP? They seem to be somewhat related. Obviously the candies and the Stardust do allow you to grow your CP higher, and obviously leveling up allows you to level up. I don't know how to say that. Getting wild Pokemon experience, getting battle experience. So how those two relate, I am unsure right now. I feel as if the Go Park could potentially be a post-game area that you kind of deal with, or that you can't quite get them out of the Go Park until post-game. I think you could probably transfer them but not get them from the Go Park until you've completed the game. Just because if you've got like a max CP mon, they do relate that to levels, then you've got a level 100, and if you can get that straight off from the game, that is kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. That is not kind of what the game is really designed to do. So I imagine that it would be definitely later on in the game, if not post-game. Yeah, so just in general, I'm kind of excited, not excited necessarily, but I'm interested to see how the Pokemon Go mons relate to the in-game mons, and how levels and stuff are going to be worked out, and how everything is going to work out there. Secondly, I kind of want to talk about wild Pokemon. So obviously we've got Pokemon Go as the kind of catching method. So there's no wild battles. We don't battle wild Pokemon. We've been confirmed that we don't battle the wild Pokemon. We just go into the battle, and then we have to catch them like Pokemon Go, which to me is very confusing, because how do we grind up? How do we grind up our levels on our Pokemon if we are under-leveled? This is going to happen. This is going to happen. It happens in every game except for like Pokemon X and Y, because they were, for some reason, stupidly easy. But even then, if you had the XP share turned off, then you feed it, then you did struggle a little bit more. But in general, it's just very much like, how are we going to level up our mons? Because that was the main method of leveling up mons when you are under-leveled, because generally you battle all the trainers. So whether you're going to have rebattleability of the trainers, I know that's not a word, but I made it up. So whether you can rebattle the trainers, I am unsure. But I'm also interested because of a part that we saw in the trailer, the part particularly with the Nugget Bridge trainer having a level 9 Venonat. To me, that is under-leveled. I believe that around that time you're looking at levels like 10 to 13. I don't think you're quite looking at level 9s anymore, especially for a single Pokemon. So I think it is a little bit higher than that generally. So I think to me, that just seems a little bit under-leveled, especially considering you had 2 level 18s there. So for me, that feels under-leveled. That feels that the game may be a little bit easier because you're not getting the experience from the wild Pokemon. So I'm kind of unsure on how that's happening. Maybe they introduce a new mechanic so you can get experience. So like, I know in like the Digimon Next Order games, I think Next Order was the most recent one, but the Digimon Wild ones, you could train them through kind of like a dojo thing. So whether they introduce that in the Pokemon Centers or something, that could be interesting, but I personally don't like the idea of that. So yeah, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm interested to see. And next, I kind of want to talk about, what do I want to talk about? So yes, the online play, because a lot of people were talking about how they were having trading, but there was going to be no online battles. We have had this clarified now. So we have had it clarified that there's going to be trading and battles with a Nintendo Online subscription, which I think is fair enough. Like most things nowadays are getting an online subscription. And yeah, apparently we're not going to have Battle Sport or the GCS or that kind of stuff. So I think Wonder Trade as well was in there. So we're not going to have those things, which to me is a little bit upsetting. I really hope that this doesn't bleed into the main series game that comes out in 2019, because I don't want that to happen. I love Battle Sport. You guys have been seeing how much I've been enjoying Battle Sport lately. I really, really love it. And I just kind of want to continue doing the Battle Sport battles. And if it disappears, I'm going to be pretty upset. I think a lot of people will be upset as well, because it really limits your online capabilities. If there's no kind of like somewhat festival plaza or whatever, or seeing like random people online and trying to battle them, then it's just going to cause issues, I think. I hope, obviously they're going to maintain the servers for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the next year, at least, because you have a lot of online stuff there. And when the main series game comes out in 2019, I imagine we will have some kind of online capability similar to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case, as long as we don't get rid of all of our GCS. Because the GCS I found to be a hugely important item. Nope. Object. Nope. I don't know what the word would be. Tool. Tool is the right word. A hugely important tool for actually getting all the Pokemon in the Pokedex. Because I don't have that many friends that I can just casually trade with. And I'm kind of the one that always completes the Pokedex first. I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I completed the Pokedex in 5 days of it coming out, because I was just trading on the Wonder Trade quite frequently. Sorry, I'm still a little bit ill, so you're going to hear kind of sniffing and like yuckiness in my talking. Then the next thing I want to talk about is, when asking about EV training Pokemon, IGN reveals that the team wanted to simplify things with how you level up, raise and train your Pokemon, stating more details will come at a later point. I almost got through that without messing up. I almost did. Okay, so it looks like EV training is going to be completely different. Maybe they're going to introduce the super training again or something along those lines. I would be very happy to see that, because I loved super training. Even though if it was sometimes a little bit slow, I enjoyed super training my Mons. The leveling up is going to be different, which I think it was more than obvious, because, you know, wild Pokemon are no longer battleable. And they want to simplify it. I'm not sure how they can simplify it more than you battle a wild Pokemon, but go ahead and try. Go ahead and try, Pokemon. Unless you have to, like, just save, like, catch a certain amount of Pokemon or something. I don't know. That thought just doesn't work in my mind. I don't understand why they've taken out the wild Pokemon battles. To me, that's just weird. I don't like it too much. But I guess they can do what they want for this game, as long as it doesn't leak into the main series game. So, I'm going to talk about this a little bit as well. I did record this earlier, but I didn't like how I was kind of talking, so I stopped it and I started this one. So, the way I'm looking at Let's Go is it's more of a side path into the main series games. It's kind of had evidence for it being a main series game, but other places have suggested that it's not a main series game, so it's kind of difficult to say which one is which. But I think the best analogy for me is like when you have a motorway or an A road or something, and you have a side path that comes in. I think that the main series games are the main road there, so that's going straight. And then the side path that's coming in, so you have like the roundabout and then the side path. The roundabout is like Pokemon Go, and then the side path is Pokemon Let's Go. It's the integration between the roundabout and the motorway. That is the best way I can think of the Let's Go franchise, and having it so it's bringing in Pokemon Go players whilst keeping things familiar to them, and then when they can come into the main series games next year when they come out. That is kind of my thought process here, and I think that is Nintendo's thought process, because ultimately it'll get them more sales, because if people are like, oh, I've really enjoyed playing through the games like this random playthrough. I really enjoy going through this region and battling. I really enjoy doing this, that, and the other. By having all of that, and then having them enjoy that, they will then go on to buy the main series game in the next year when things are back to normal, quote-unquote, hopefully. I don't know if they will be. I'm just looking at my mirror, and I've noticed like I've got like a black eye. I haven't hit my eye, so I don't know what's going on. And the final thing, sorry, I got sidetracked there. The final thing I want to talk about was, what is this new Pokemon? So right here it says, it will also contain a Pokemon that has never been seen before. So that has never been seen before suggests to me it is not GOROCHU. GOROCHU has been seen. Pokemon Company must know that GOROCHU's concept art was leaked. They 100% know it. Like, if and they are on social media, they would have seen, because it was all over social media. It was all over the Pokemon social media for weeks. GOROCHU is known. We have seen it before. We have 100% seen it before. So, to me, it can't be GOROCHU because we've seen it. And they're saying this is a never seen before. So is this going to be an evolution? Which I think, yes, it is. We are definitely going to be seeing a new evolution. I think flying or ground makes sense just to cover out the electric weakness. Some people are predicting dragon because of the fairy. But I think they have kind of changed that up. I don't know. I feel like flying or ground, to me, makes sense. So ground would be covering the would be stronger against electric, which obviously is the opposing Pikachu, and flying is weak to electric, which if you've got the it just covers kind of how the rivals work in the game by you having the Pokemon that's weak to your rival. Like, that was kind of my thought process, but the way that they've said it is like in the trailer, it's a special Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that has never seen before. It's always a Pokemon. It's not anything more than a Pokemon. It's just only one. So I think it's going to be one evolution, probably a flying type. I think it's going to be in the Pokemon. Is it I Choose You? No, that was the first one. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Something Friends or something We. I can't actually remember, but. Yeah, I think it's going to be in the new Pokemon film. The new evolution is going to be revealed there, I believe. That is my thought process there. And to me, this never seen before Pokemon suggests possibly something a little bit more. I could 100% see us getting GOROCHU. And that is a Pokemon that we have seen before, but they haven't mentioned anything about Pokemon we've seen before. Excuse me. I got a little bit of a catch in my throat there. But also, looking at what was unveiled yesterday, so if someone found the beta mons for the original Gold and Silver beta version, so all the concept arts for that, which I will put up on the screen now, hopefully. And yeah, I'm really interested because a lot of these mons look like pre-evolutions. You've got like a pre-evolution of Growlithe, you've got like a Lickitung evolution or pre-evolution, you've got a evolution for Pinsir. You've got just so many of these mons look like they relate. It looks like we've got a pre-evolution for Grimer as well. It just looks like a lot of these mons relate to the original Gen 1 Pokemon, and that they probably were going to be in Gen 1, because we know that originally they did have, I believe that Houndoom and Houndour were supposed to be Gen 1 Pokemon. So a lot of these Pokemon could well have been originally wanted to be Gen 1, and their pre-evolutions. We know that we had the baby Pokemon for Clefairy, Jigglypuff, and Pikachu. We know and Smoochum. We had Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby as well. So we did have a lot of pre-evolutions. I would love to see a lot more of these pre-evolutions as well. We've obviously seen them now, so it does make it possible for them to be in the game. This is a huge stretch, I know, but I would be very interested in seeing a lot of pre-evolutions come into this game. So having like a pre-evolution for Eevee or something, maybe, like that's a bit more of a stretch. But having kind of like loads of different pre-evolutions come into this game, because it's going to be specifically the original 151 and some Alola Pokemon. But if we did have some, we're going to have a new Pokemon as well. They've confirmed that. So I think if we did have some pre-evolutions, I would actually love it. I would love it. I know it's a stretch, but this is something that I really, really want to see. It feels like having these arts leaked right now, I don't know why it is, and it feels like, it feels important. It feels too important for it to not be something. It feels like, if it wasn't something, it wouldn't have happened. But why bring it out from the beta that was almost 20 years ago? Why now show off these concept arts? Is it because you're bringing these into the new game? That is my thought process here. And I think I might be getting somewhere with it. And yeah, so that is kind of my ideas, kind of my first talk about Let's Go. I know I've kind of thrown a lot of information at you, but I think this is very important information. A lot of these theories, I hope, are going to be proven correct. We've got the main game in 2019. I don't know if we're going to get any more news in E3. I can imagine something happening in E3. Maybe we get some kind of like reveal. Maybe like a silhouette of the new Pokemon, possibly. Maybe something else. Although we have only literally just had the Pokemon Let's Go reveal, so I don't know if they'll have anything extra there. Might have a little bit something, but maybe a little bit of gameplay. That might happen. But yeah, that is it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so I hope you had a good one, and I will see you soon.